I think we're finally live. Maybe out of tune. Let me go over to the comment section. Let me see. Guys, can you see me? Is it okay? Because it's telling me I have a problem. Do I have a problem? Do I look okay? Do I sound okay? Because I just got a warning sign saying it's not right. But look at all these people. Okay, so people are saying everything's fine on their end. Okay, all right. I can see in here, all good. People are saying, oh, good. Okay, good. Good. Because there's literally a giant red warning. Stream status bad. You need to change this content stream. I'm like, what? Oh, God. You know, it's just been one of those days. I almost didn't have the live show tonight, which probably would have been an unbelievable April Fool's Day punk. But, you know, I'm not that big of a douche. So, you know, I was going to have the show. It is the first of the month. And the friggin' basement flooded this morning. You know, we're supposed to get this nor'easter with all this snow, and I'm, I guess, far enough south that it was a lot of rain, and I had a Floody McFlood, which I'm not happy about. Oh, what, this guitar? It's just a little something I picked up. Oh, they'll be going all night. Oh, yeah, I play a little guitar. Boom, baby. All right, I'm feeling better. I got the stream going. My buds are here. Let me just move these cords out of my way. And I'm just waiting for something to fall down. It's been one of those days. It's like one of those days. Not really any damage from the flood. The carpet only got maybe about, not even a third soaked. I'd say about 25% soaked, and I've been working on it. It would have been a lot worse if I hadn't been taking a dry vac and soaking up the water. It would just seep through, right? It acts like a wick. It would just pull all that water through the rug. But it's only really coming up, like right there. But I ordered the electric jackhammer today. I'm ready to start smashing floors. All right, so who do we got here? We got Cedar Rapids, we got Rochester, we got Burial, Rhode Island. We got Dutch. We've got Ontario. Pixie with your current setup, running through TH3 through the dual guitar rig, something like that. I do have a water pump. Water pump, it laughs at water laughs at that water pump. It's like mocking it. It says, you call that a pump? So that's why it's time to upgrade. I've got to go deeper. It's only 16 inches deep. I got to get like 40 inches down with like gravel and put a sump about 24 inches down, like a plastic one, and a submersible pump. I have what they call a stick pump. It's the guy who owned this house before, he didn't, Anyway, we saw Texas, Poland, Glasgow, Western Mass, Ukraine, Sweden, Florida, Newton, Australia, hot Florida, oh, you bastard, Bosnia, Maryland, Detroit, Rock City, Southie, London, Puerto Rico, Windsor, Montreal, Syracuse, Kentucky, Canada, Vermont, Scotland, Plymouth Rock, Minneapolis, Gorham, Maine, North Wales. It's like I hear it. I'm going, wait, that doesn't sound right, but it's right. I'm up. Texas, Denver, Georgia, Montana, Oregon, New York, Florida, Queens, another Texas, North Wales, Poland, Florida, a lot of Floridas. Saugus, you know what I'm talking about, brah. Norway, Kentucky, Pottsville, Manchester, Spring Grove, Montana, Florida, Istanbul, Canada, Selinsgrove, Washington, Sweden, Iran, Switzerland. Don't forget Uranus, Hyde Park, James McDonald, Jackson, Studio City, Hudson, Netherlands, Braintree. Hey, Wayne's here. Wayne knows a little something about this guitar. Neptune, Wenatchee, Paris. Someone just said nice shirt. That had to... Who is that? All right, who said that? That had to be Flipside Music, I was going to say. Head Baker down in East Dedham. He's down ED. That's just a little Steel Panther for you. Oh. Play little guitars. You think I know little guitars? Come on. Oh, I'm feeling better. Scotland, Ohio. All these people from around the world, very cool, says Quentin James. I agree. All the assholes are showing up. Hey, don't make me come over there. Dude, you're from Rhode Island, okay? That's New England's armpit. Please. Are you also using a tiny pick? No. Oh, that's funny though. See, we gotta, no, I'm using my super awesome, Doll Man pick. God, I friggin' love these. Does it sound good clean too? No. Sounds horrible. I don't know. Who plays clean? Yo, Pixie, how many pedals you own or the most you've owned at any one time? You know what? Right as I got back in the guitar, the software got huge. And when you got the software, you got like friggin' 40 pedals. And so I never really feel the need to run out and get pedals. So people send them to me. And those are fun. I like a few of those. Pixie, what's in the cup? Ice water. Sadly. Sadly, it's water with ice. Just got a Bugera. Any thoughts? Yeah. I like Bugera. I think I like... did you get a newer one? I like that Infinium because I do think it saves tubes. Are you drunk or what? No. I'm just finally resting. After a lot of running around to get this shit off the ground. Like a lot of what you see behind you wasn't there, right? I had that couch right here was all covered and stuff stacked up to get it off the floor because I didn't know when the water was going to stop, coming in. And so you start to worry about instruments that are on the ground, and you're like, oh God, I have to really get this up. This could be an issue. And luckily, it didn't really get all that close. It's about just a few feet away from me. It's the farthest it got up here. And so behind me, the rug is dry. That rug is dry right there, which is awesome. Because once the rug gets wet, it just stinks. It's hard to get everything out, even when you get everything out. That's when I have to run. You see this here? That's a super high, like, ozone machine. Like, throws out, like, an ungodly, a deadly amount of ozone. Literally will kill you. So you close all the doors up, and you set that bomb off, that ozone bomb off, for about an hour, maybe 90 minutes. And it just kills all the mold. It gets rid of all the smell. They're used by, like, car vendors will use these to, like, clean out cars that stink like cigarettes and pipes and stuff. They'll use it after fires, to clean crap out. And it really works because it will stink down here after a flood. And it just sucks. So my main thing, because we're talking floods, is to well, it's a topic. It's topical. It's a recent event. It's topical. Trust me, it's topical. It's topical all over this floor. It's topical, all right. Anyway, yeah. I got to finally do something down here because it really is a problem. I mean, it really is getting to the point where I'm just done with it, right? I've had the house 15 years, and how many more years before we finally solve this? Yeah, ozone is dangerous. Ozone is actually super dangerous. So you can't be in the room when you're running it. You close everything up, you run it. Ozone is very unstable, mainly because it smashes into other things and oxygenates it, right? It, what's the word I'm looking for? Oxidize, right? Oxidizes it. And that's what kills it. That's what destroys it, right? It will kill metals. You gotta be real careful. Mainly want to be used on plastics and other surfaces because it is rapid oxidation. But, my God, it really does get rid of the smell. And for cars, it's like unbelievable. But all you have to do is open the windows up and just, blow some clean air through. You can actually come down after about 2 or 3 hours. The ozone breaks down, but what's left is like the ozone like attached to other molecules. It's like smog. Right? Right? And you have to just blow that right out. That's my little environmental contribution, setting off ozone bombs and throwing them outside. The neck on this guitar, we can talk about this guitar for a second. Someone said, ever try Buddha amps? Yeah, I think I have. Very creamy, the Buddha I tried anyway. It had like a sort of a very bigger, much more mid-push. But we can talk about this guitar for a second, if you want. Hi, Greece. Hi from Boston. Yeah, moved the family to the basement and you upstairs. I gotta say, more guitars have made it to the attic recently. I used to confine all the music stuff to the basement, but I'm setting an area up in the attic. It's like, I'm done. It's like, I can't, I can't risk it. My most expensive stuff might be going attic bound in times of trouble. But whatever, you know what? All I have to do is fix it. And then I don't have to worry about it. So fixing it would be the number one priority. Me too. So you gotta, you press into it. Press lightly. Anyway. John Mayer fan? Yeah, absolutely. I think John Mayer's a great player. Real good. Picked up a rosewood neck strat after seeing yours. Got the burst. Nice. How you like the rosewood? I love the rosewood. Right? Right? It's not just me, right? The rosewood's awesome. What was the water from the snow? How much did you end up getting there, Pixie? We got like 2 inches of snow, which is nothing, and like 2.5 inches of rain, which is substantial, especially after the winter. And so, yeah, we up from the ground came a bubbling crude. I was like, oh no, and it's pure hydrostatic pressure, right? It comes like straight up, and you know why it's hydrostatic pressure, pure hydro? It's coming up at multiple spots, right? It's not like coming in through the wall. It's like a 1 point, right? There's cracks all through this floor, right? It's an old cement floor, concrete floor, and there's cracks all through it. And at those cracks, little drop here, little drop there. There's a bit of a hole down near the sump, like just very close to the sump. I think I might have even smashed that hole open a little bit to relieve some of the static, some of the pressure. And it'll bubble up. Like today, it only bubbled up like this much, right? Pretty tiny amount. I've had it up like that, and when it's like that, look out. That is so much pressure. It's squirting out of the side of my chimney. It's squirting out everywhere. Like the pressure can get insane, and that's when you really need 2 pumps. Anyway. Flex seal. Yeah, a little flex seal. A little flex tape. Yeah, a little flex seal, a little flex tape. You're good to go. Yo, Bora. Screw the pump. Get risers. Yeah, just we'll put the whole house up on stilts. Have you lost an instrument to the floods? Haven't lost it, but if you've seen the damage on my RG 560, right? All those big flakes of paint missing. That's from the flood, right? Because it only went up about maybe this far. I don't even think it made it to the Floyd Rose cavity, right? It only went up, hit the bottom, but it just soaked it in. It was enough. It just expanded the body, and then it shrank, and then the flakes flaked off. My Strat, it was the same thing, but my Strat had so fewer dents on it. It had fewer entry points for the moisture, so the damage wasn't nearly as bad. That encased polyester, you pissed on it when it came out, okay? But that polyester probably saved that Strat from some serious... It was sheathed in a prophylactic of polyester and polyurethane. And let me tell you, it was good. Good to have in that moment. What am I playing? I am playing a Lotus Les Paul sent to me by a super awesome dude down in Texas who reached out to me maybe a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, dude, I got a guitar I'd like to send you. And then when I started reading it, I was like, oh, no way, is it one of the... Because I remember these. He's like, yeah, it's one of those like little minis. And he goes, it's a Lotus. And so I looked it up, and I instantly recognized it, right? I remember these. I totally remember these. And I was like, yeah, so it's missing the cap, and it's not, it's a tiny bit smaller than standard. So I'm not sure if I could find the one to fit that rather than just find a new jack. I guess if I want to keep it standard, I'd have to find one that fits it, like a white. I guess it has to be white, right, to match the knobs? I mean, what do you do? It's a bolt-on neck. It is heavy. It is surprisingly heavy. Now, I've heard that they've made these guitars out of, everything from alder to maple to poplar. I have no idea. That streak almost looks like poplar. And poplar is a slightly heavier wood. I don't know. I mean, it's so heavy, and it's like clearly like a slab of wood. I mean, we're not talking like veneers here. Probably the weakest part of the whole build of the tuners. I actually love the pickups. I think the pickups sound fine. But the tuners are those, those old style. You know those, right? They kind of like covered back ones. So, I mean, they work, but their tuning ratio isn't the greatest. What would look nice, like the Clusson style, right? Wouldn't that look nice on it? Maybe put the Clusson, little Clusy clues on it. And then the other thing that's a little off is the nut. It's actually a touch wide for this. I wonder if it was replaced at some point. It might have been. You never know. And the high E is just a touch low. Hear that? Just a little. It's fine when you fret it, but open just hitting that first fret just here. So, I mean, I could raise it up with maybe a little bit of baking soda and super glue, and cut a new slot, but I'll just pull it out, put a new nut in it, right? And then cut the nut. As you can see, I don't know if you can notice this, but the strings are just slightly off. It's like they almost need to be like, see they're there. They almost need to be like over, like right there, just over a hair, and then they would line up perfectly. You see what I'm saying? Like they're over just a hair, and that's just a matter of lining the slots up here and cutting new nut slots. I mean, bridge slots, saddle slots, and maybe even replacing it. So here's an interesting factoid, right? So Lotus is a Japanese company. Makes sense, right? I don't know if this was made in Japan. I'm not really sure where it was made. It may have been made in Japan, more likely, but that's less likely than Korea, right? Most likely it was made in Korea. Because the company Lotus had a bunch of different guitars, full-size guitars. They weren't just a mini guitar company. This was just one of the guitars in their lineup. They're out of business now, as I understand it. They're like high-end guitars that were like set neck were made in Japan. And then their like bolt-on stuff was made in Indonesia and Korea, mainly in Korea, probably by Samick. And you know what? This almost feels like Samick, right? But it's older. So it's like really, I mean, when I tell you this thing is like a beast, I cannot tell you. So, like I said, it's not perfect. A little bit of lining up with the strings, a little bit of lining up here and there. It's perfectly play. I mean, you hear me play. It's perfectly playable. So I put a set of Monster 11s on it. So he says, I want to send you a guitar. He sends it up. I think he would agree. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but I think he would agree. It's like one of the worst postal service jobs. The postal service, they're like, yeah, you know what? They're going to show up in North Texas. We're going to let it sit there a couple days. Then it's going to show up out in Western Mass. It's going to sit there a few days. It finally made it out, but whatever. It wasn't that bad. So it finally showed up, and I ran right down and got it. And he was really clever. He took the neck off when he shipped it. So I just had a bolt in that. He had all the parts, the bridge, the tailpiece, the back plate, the screws, everything I needed in separate bags. I mean, could not have been easier. Had it beautifully packaged, and I just flipped out when I saw it. As soon as I pulled the neck out, I said, ooh. Oh, I got to put this together right now. And I threw it together. And so I put a set of clear tone Monster 11s on it. Right there. Clear tone Monster 11s. And because I wanted the tension, right? I mean, it's a small scale guitar. You want a little bit of tension on it. And then I tuned it to G, but I'm in drop F, really. Because I was doing right? this chord. If you're expecting me to go, don't hold your breath. I have like no fingernails. My hand compared to the size of this guitar. I mean, it's practically the size of the body of this guitar. It's not going to happen. But I will get in there with a pick and use my my super palm muting. That was it. Anyway. Play more than a feeling. I don't think I can, right? Because I'm in drop D. Right? All right. Oh. I know, gotta gig with this baby. Gotta do something. Anyway, I think it sounds great. I'm really impressed with the sound. It's a, it's a full-size neck. If anything, it might even be a kind of a little chunky. It's really like a, that sort of Les Paul feel. It's amazing. And like I said, it kind of weighs a ton. And they're full-size pickups, obviously. And believe it or not, and this was the weird thing, I checked like sort of the spread of the bridge. It was identical to that of my Godo. And I think that's where I was going before I got off on a tangent, which is that this was a Japanese company, and I wonder if they source some of these parts like that, right? Or at the very least, it's metric. Right, it's that metric spread. If I wanted to, might be able to just take a straight up Godo and just put it in. Quite frankly, they look almost identical, so it might work. What's in the cup? Anyone wants to know what's in the cup? It's ice water. Wah, wah. Happy April Fool's Day, Bobby. So, I know, I gotta be. What's weird is I'm hearing it and I'm saying, wait, that's not right, but I can't, right? My references are. I'm going to play it a little fast because it's on a small guitar, right? No, no puddle. We're good. Oh, it's right. I tuned. Someone says not enough string tension if tuned to E. Yeah, pretty much. Not enough. Not enough string tension. It wouldn't not. It would not work. It would be pretty friggin' bad. Are we done with this one, guys? What time is it? 7:33. We might be done with this one. I don't know how long I can hang out tonight. I'm gonna go as long as I'm up for it. Oh, Krellbar, I'm going to give you a noogie the next time I see you, man. Worst LP copy I ever owned? I don't know. Probably one of the Chinese ones. Not this one. This might be the greatest. I tell you, I'm in love with this guitar. I'm going to deck it all out, you know. Pimp some rhinestones on it. Oh, now here they all come. Play some Zeppelin. Oh, yeah. The best thing is the sensors can't pick it up, right? I'm way out of key. Yeah, you have 270 watching now. Nice. Hello, people. Cameron asks, Pixie Lixxx, have you listened to Lower the Bar? I have, Cameron. I have. And I'll give you my take on it right now. First 3 tracks I'm in and out on, right? It seems like just standard Steel Panther stuff, right? Tracks 1, 2, and 3. They're okay, whatever. Tracks 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Especially with the Out There, Now the Fun Starts. That's some of their best writing, I think, since Feel Steel. I friggin' love that little run right there. Those songs. And then the last 2 seem like tacked on. Right? Typical Panther filler thrown in at the end of a record. They could have even skipped those last 2. I wasn't crazy about it. One's clearly a rip-off of, Same Old Song and Dance, right? And it's like, whatever. But there's a middle part where there's, I'm pretty sure it's, tracks 1, 2, and 3 are okay, right? But it's to me, that's like just standard Panther stuff that I expected on any of their albums, right? But it's really tracks 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 that I was like, wow, especially Now the Fun Starts. I was like, I'd like to see them do more tunes like this, break out of the, they'll get it. You know what it feels like filler? It feels like filler when the vocal line follows the melody of the guitar, right? The chord line. Feels like that was just thrown together more than some of their other work, right? Yeah, right, Cameron? You know, it's like such a great tune. So, that album was cruising towards the sea after the first three songs, but it made itself back to a solid B, with Feel the Steel being an A. And I'd give Balls Out probably a B. And I'd give probably the All You Can Eat like a B minus. There's more filler on that record, I think, than any of their other records out there. See you, Aaron. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Opinion about Laney Cub amps? Can't say I played them. I'm not sure. Was Laney at NAMM this year? If Laney is at NAMM next year, I'll make a point to check him out. Please, the bean, baked beans or green beans. I'm in the store. I don't know which one to buy. Well, what are they being paired with? Play the Ibanez. You realize I have like 10 Ibanez guitars, right? You realize that? Like 10. Yeah, Poontang Boomerang is an amazing song. It builds, right? That's the third track, right? Am I not correct? That's track number 3. What kind of guitar is this? This is a Lotus. I think they're out of business now. This is a Lotus Mini. Hey, Kyle. Favorite Seymour Duncan pickup? Oh, probably the 59. Did a good job with that one. The JB is a close second. Really like the JB, but there's something about that 59. Nice bright. And I think, the lower output of it. Right? As you get older, you like the lower output pickups. I'll never reach my full potential until I get an Iceman. Is a PS series acceptable substitute? You still buy mini guitars? They don't. Probably. Well, Gibson's been pretty bad about going after people, so I don't think so. You know, I wouldn't doubt if them stopping this was the result of a Gibson, saying it looked too close to their products. There was a guy out there that was making handmade ones, and they were really good. Let me tell you, they were set neck. I mean, they looked unbelievable. And Gibson sent him a cease and desist. Said, you better not sell any, and stop making and promoting them, and that was the end of that. So, Polish metal band. Love to watch the channel from across the pond. You doing? What's up, bud? I have a 540S and an RG 520 QM. That is epic. Yes, it is. The pink Charvel uses in the video looks killer. Yeah, he's pretty much all to. So the funny thing is again, just more evidence of the death knell of Kramer. So I went on to Kramer, and I was looking, and there was some stuff on their Facebook page, and it looked like it had just been posted. And I was like, wow, what is this? And then I realized their latest post, or their last one, was like March 29th, 2016. It was just posted a year ago. So pretty much been a year since they've updated their Facebook page. It's been since December December 29, 2015 is their last entry on the news blog on their website. So zero effort on the website, zero effort on the and Kramer's over. I think it's dead. little guitars. I did earlier. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna have my audio muted. What vid describes your rig, software, hardware? I have one. I could have sworn I had one up there. I got to do another one. I'm going to do another one real soon because everything's been updated. But the short of it is I run directly into a Focusrite 18i20. And that goes into a Hewlett-Packard i7 with 16 gigs RAMola. Bunch of storage. That's also connected, believe it or not, to another mixer that is my old mixer that I couldn't retire because this mic won't work with my new one. So I had to break that out and plug that into that to get the mic to work. So the vocals have to take an extra step and go through my old mixer and then to the Focusrite to be able to be heard. And then I run the audio out of the back of the Focusrite, and that either runs into the camera right there, or into the ass end of my streaming computer, which is what it's doing right now. And there you have it. There's the run, and you're hearing software. You know what I'm thinking? Don't I kind of now have to try and find one of those Guild Ashbury basses? Right? I'll set a whole friggin' rig up. I gotta do the whole thing. Bobby says I'd buy a Kiesel just based off of Jeff's passion and attitude. Did you see that video? I watched that whole video. I watched every minute of that video. Tone King, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Tone King did a tour over at the Kiesel factory. And Tone King didn't have to say a word because Jeff Kiesel loves his product, loves his company, knows everything about it. And just everything. This is this wood and that wood and this machine and that machine. And they would get, and they did have some luck of timing a bunch of times throughout the video where they would go just as something was finishing up and they'd take it off and take a look at it. Not always, but a couple of times. And it was great. It was what a fantastic look, inside a guitar factory. And like you pointed out, a lot of people have been working there, at least 10 years. A lot of people, at least 20 years. So, says something. This is going to make people mad. Megadeth and Metallica. I'm going to go with Anthrax. My answer is Pantera. Are your headphones what? What are my headphones? My headphones are HD 558s. Sennheiser, which I like. Yeah, I love the TTK Kiesel video. Headphone brand? Sennheiser. Sennheiser. I have to have some German friends school me on that. Sennheiser. Yeah, you got a space heater right there. You got an ozone maker right there. Cranking out the mega ozone. Yeah, it was a killer tour, huh? Everyone a Yamaha Pacifica? No, but we were a Yamaha Pacifica dealer when I was at the music store. And I really liked them. I thought some of their low-end stuff was some of the best stuff in the low-end segment. I mean, really well made. Nice stuff. And we got a couple of high-end instruments in, like, the high-end Pacificas. In fact, we got in their, like, top model. And it was crazy. It was all flame maple, the flame maple neck, and a crazy, like, ebony fingerboard with all binding and stuff. It was insane. You should look up. I forget the model number. It's probably like the 2860 or something. Some crazy number, but it was up there. Amp software right now, the amp software is TH3. Get that same gray amp? Yeah. See you, Isaac. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Pacifica 112 is your number, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Some of those Pacificas are really crazy, you know. What's up, RJ? Would you buy a Kiesel? I would, but you know what? I'm so old school. I hate to say it, and Kiesel probably doesn't want to hear this. I'd probably want it carbon branded. Sorry, that's the one I had when I was a kid. All right, that's the one you remember. Sorry, M22's carbon. I know they don't want to hear that. He tells why they came out with the Carvin name. You know, had to do with like a contract. They couldn't use Kiesel. They had agreed to like give someone like a use of the name or something. They were producing one thing and they couldn't compete against them, right, with their own direct. So they went to Carvin. Yeah, I've been using TH3 pretty much since I got back from NAMM. Can you play Zakk Wylde? You know, I don't. That's the fight. I don't think so. I'm trying to think if I know of, you know. Forget it. Just yeah, I can play Zakk. But no, I know. I you know, just thinking about it, I think I know more like. That's Jake. It's so weird hearing these in these keys. All right, we might have to switch up. What time is it? 7:51. It's like it's almost friggin'. It's almost that time to get another water. I might make a coffee. You guys will really be down here for a while staring at my chair. Or not. Stick around, second half's awesome. Alright. Play the Brady Bunch theme. I will, but I think I'm gonna switch up. I think I want to switch up guitars. Why don't we get a bunch of people to throw up right now. Right on the feed. On the live feed. Which guitar am I going to go get? What am I going to get? What am I getting? I still have the Gibson SG from the last live show. I'm fixing his Greco like this weekend. I just got the glue syringes to inject the glue into the cracola. Well, we have assorted Ibanez's and Fenders in the immediate area. Most of what you're going to ask for, I'm going to shut right down. But, you know, there's got to be something. Squire? You want a Squire? You looking for a Squire? Is that what you want? You want a Squire? Go get a Bigley. Something big league. It's a small guitar, but it has a huge sound. Double neck. Now that's the backbreaker. I'm already voting down all double neck. I'm seeing Charvel. I'm seeing San Dimas. I'm seeing Telly, Fender, Les Paul, Rosewood Strat, the Rosewood Neck Strat, Ibanez, the Strat, Rosewood board, 83 pace. 83 pace is still being fixed. SG or an IBI. Telecaster, SG. Get the Strat. Oh, we got Telly, SG, Ibanez. That double neck's going nowhere, bro. Double neck's going nowhere. I have it, but God, that thing's such a load to hold. Yeah, you hold it. I'm seeing a lot of Strat. I think it's Charvel, see Gibson, Ibanez. Getting a lot of movement here. People like the Ibanez, huh? People saying Charvel. SG, Ibanez. Boy, there's no consensus. All right, well, you know what? What we'll do is, because we don't have a consensus, we'll come back, we'll have a death match. When I come back, I will randomly pick a guitar, we'll bring one over, and just based on whatever I feel like. Don't take it personally. And but I won't play it for very long. We'll switch it up, all right? We'll switch a few guitars. But I'm going to go make a coffee. Because it's time. All right, guys. It's intermission. Go take a whiz. Go make a coffee. Like some other people may be doing. And I will see you in about 5 minutes. I think I'm going to take this off because I'm going to get a new. I'll put that right there. Sorry, brah. Rip. I tried to warn. I'm gonna try to warn you now, but it's after the fact. Cafe. I think I actually have to turn the input up on this because I do. That unbelievable? Yeah. Those Les Paul pickups were so much hotter. I went with this one because it had the highest probability of being in tune. Yo, Joe. What's up, Tony, buddy? We don't have to keep this one. Play a whole song. I'm not playing a whole song. God. You know, first, there's a couple of problems with that. Maybe that aren't of obvious issue to most people, but that is even just playing guitar of a copyrighted song, they can mark you as copyrighted. Right? Like my friends came over and did that cover of Friends, which admittedly had a bunch of instruments. It was a very different arrangement, and it had friggin' Japanese string instruments in it. And all kinds of mandolins and ukulele. I mean, it was this crazy string orchestra. And they muted that audio. They were just like, see ya. So they're cracking down. What's up, Tony? Play half a song. Can you play some classical music? Not really. Unless it's Ozzy. Does Ozzy count? Yeah. Look, I'm playing classical. Play the Flintstones. I play it in A. I think that's A. I'm telling you, this is... much better. It's like 5-1. 5-1. 1, 6, 5, 1. Then it starts out minor. Major. I kind of screwed that, you know. And then back to the main riff again. Something like that. T-shirt campaign? Yeah, I'll do one soon. People keep asking. I got to do it. I should. We'll play some Dawkins. So Doc says you can't play an entire song without having your account suspended, deleted. No, they won't suspend or delete your account. They're not that bad. But they will just mute the audio, so you're going to look at a video where everyone's going. It's like, what's the point? Right? They're like, oh, we're going to let your video stay up. We just mute the audio. But you can upload another track to play alongside whatever video content that is. It's like, yeah, it's me playing the song. It doesn't look right when I do it to other audio tracks. It's like... No one says, this is my favorite sounding guitar of everything I've seen you play. Really? You know, I don't think I have a favorite one, but I really love the sound of that telly. We're going to have to switch to that telly. You know what? We could try the, you know, it is April 1st. We could try the Iwi. Guys up for a little Iwi? I wonder if I can get this thing going here. Hold on. Everybody calm down. If this works, it'll be the greatest live show ever. All right. What do you do, like a violin? What do you like, the violin there, kid? Because that makes sense, right? You know what? I don't have a strap. We're not going to do this for very long. You guys want to hear a little Iwi? Let's see if you hear this. Not bad, huh? That's called expressive. It's like wicked expressive. No one's got time for that shite. Here we go. We'll do like one or two more, and then we'll put the Iwi away, and I'll go back to guitar. This is the one I think everyone loves, right? It's just like retarded 80s. This is what I would call like the Michael Brecker sound, right? It's like 1987 all over again. And we'll do one more, and then we'll call it a night for the Iwi. What do you like? What do you like, the saxophone? Yeah, that actually does sound nice, right? That friggin' that violin. It's because of the breath control. That's what does it. We'll try to do a little you have to. It works through electricity, right? And you're the conductor. So how it knows I've touched it. Remember, this is long before capacitive, right? So you have a plate on the back. You have to have your thumb on that plate to ground your hand out. I have to have my thumb on these wheels to ground my hand out. So when I touch on the front, I make the contact between the two electrodes. You're literally the conductor on this, you know. Wait, hold on. I think I just learned a Beastie Boys song. Anyway, we'll go back to guitar because I'm already bored with it. How much does it cost? I need one. You know what? $300, right? I think they're $299. So not too bad. So the old ones, the unit had an audio synthesizer in it, and quite frankly, it ripped through batteries. You still were tethered because you couldn't run the thing without plugging it in. This is, you still got to tether it. It's through USB, and it's got no sound in it, right? It's only a MIDI controller. And what I did was it came with Garriton, which is their sample playback, Garriton's been around. They're a sample playback company that's been around forever. So they use Garriton for the samples. And it just comes with a bunch of crap, a bunch of synthesizer stuff, a bunch of woodwinds, clarinets, flutes, all this stuff. And then you just go through, I mean, if I was ambitious, I'd do a cover of Can't You See by the Marshall Tucker Band. And I'm pretty sure I could play that damn flute line with that Iwi. It would sound and look pretty damn awesome. But yeah, Brass Monkey. There you go. See? I'm already a musical genius. Get the EBO out. You know what? I want an EBO, Joe. I want an EBO. I gotta get. That's on my short list of things to acquire. I definitely want an EBO. I also want Joe from Riff City Guitar might send me a one of those Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredders. Right? Those are killer guitars. They sell for like under $650. I think they're $629, and they got all the appointments. They're real nice. And they make one that's a little bit more expensive, but it has a Sustainiac in it. And I said, he's like, I want to send you one out, to do a review on. And I was like, whoa, hold up. Send me the right one. I want the one with the Sustainiac in it. What's that Charvel you're playing? I ever read 2011 SoCal. So if you have a 2011 is yours, a USA made. This is a Mexi made. This is south of the border. This is just a San Dimas. That's a paper veneer on that, right? That's not a top. You could get a top. You'd have to go custom shop. And those custom shop, I think it's one of their worst decisions. They made a killer custom shop guitar. in these killer quilt tops, right? Red, blue, green, and they put this like striping on it, which covers up the quilt, right? It's like they're covering the wood up, and it's a top. That's a big fat top. This is a. That's why it's a burst, right? Got to cover them seams. We're just gonna put a nice little stripe on the edge here. Oh, so yours is Japanese. Okay, yeah, those are great too. Those are awesome, the Japanese ones, right? Those are killer. Why don't you get an Axe FX? I probably have 2,499 reasons why I don't buy an Axe FX. Or 2,699 reasons. Now, they kind of expensive, you know. So TH2, if you like the sound you're getting right now, and you like TH3, this now is the time to get it. I don't know if the sale is over, but they were running a sale. They were knocking like $100 off the product. I think it was $199 instead of $299. And it's the best software on the market. All the others are good. There's very few out there that are terrible, right? I can't think of one off the top of my head that's like just garbage. They all have a few good amps, but I think the all-around package, the all-around sound, the all-around just everything about it, I'm still giving TH3, my gold award is the best one. It's probably scoring a 92 out of possible 100. With its lack of MP3 player, and I'm not so crazy about their preset system. The best preset system is Guitar Rig 5. Sorry, that's the best one. Unfortunately, it's in Guitar Rig 5. Guitar Rig 6 better come out soon. I mean, Guitar Rig 5 has been out for what, 4 years, 5 years now? I mean, come on. Can we update a piece of software once in a while? You plan on getting a Kemper for the same reason I don't get an Axe FX. I don't get a Kemper. The thing is that the Kemper and the Axe FX, I think a lot of dudes will tell you those are gigging machines. They're made to gig. See you, Daniel. Those are meant for the gigging musician, to some degree the studio musician, but I don't feel the need. I'm a computer guy. I think I get pretty good stuff out of my software. I'm not saying the Kemper and stuff isn't better than the software stuff. I think it is, right? Because it's just so dedicated, and they really have that dedicated hardware and stuff. I mean, they're definitely like a notch above. If I'm awarding this like a 93, I might give like, the Kemper and the Axe FX like 95s and 96s, with 100 being an unattainable reference point, of course. So, I just feel it's close enough, and it's so much cheaper on sale. Where at Overloud, you have to buy this direct from the company, Overloud, overloud.com. Yeah, it's still $199 on sale. I know. Yeah, a lot of people tour with Kempers, rack Kempers, because they're consistent and they're reliable. sounding a little loud. Do you have an FAQ for rig setup for software? I actually do. I have a video called How to Set Up a PC, right? That covers most of it. It's an older video. I have a really older one you should not watch. If it doesn't say updated in the title, and I don't start out saying, like, my old video sucked, you're watching the wrong video. You gotta watch one of the new ones. I think I have a beard in the new one. No beard in the old one. What has been most influential to your playing? That's a great question. In terms of people, it's probably Eddie Van Halen. In fact, I've been going through a little Eddie Van Halen phase lately and just realizing just all the little articulations, that he does, that just makes his playing so great. His rhythm stuff is so crazy, See you, Mr. Bissy. Have a great night, buddy. Same to you. 250 EVH Wolfgang's at Pro Audio Star. Really? That's worth mentioning out loud. Are they new? I mean, I'm assuming they're the Chinese ones, but whatever. I'm sure they're still okay. Your thoughts on the Harley Benton line of Gibsons? They're Harley Bentons are extremely popular. I get Harley Benton and what's the other one by Rondo Music? Oh God, it's on the tip. I know the distributor, and I can't think of I want to say Acacia, but it's not that. That's an American company. You know that company with the guitars. You know them. Anyway, them. Panama Solo. No, I don't know that solo off the top of my head. Anyway, Agile. Thank you. Yeah. I get questions about them all the time. They seem to be very competent, both companies. They're loved by many people. I mean, I have so many people who love Harley Bentons and Agiles. I mean, I get rabid supporters of both brands. So clearly the brands are doing something right. I have played an Agile, but truth be told, it was a lefty, right? So I went to see a buddy of mine's collection, and you can actually get a good feel for a neck, but it is upside down. But you can feel the neck. You can absolutely turn a guitar upside down and feel the neck and get a little bit of a feel for the neck and how it feels and how the guitar is balanced and everything. So I was checking out a bunch of his guitars, but they were lefty. But I tried out a bunch of, Agiles, and I thought they felt great. You can get a good feel for a neck. And I was like, these are nice. And he had a bunch. He had a whole bunch. They have horrible reviews. Don't go through Pro Audio Star. Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there that it reminds me of like the old camera companies, right? They would throw up a camera. If you didn't buy a kit, they throw it up at a price they were never going to sell you that camera for. It was always out of stock. If you wanted that camera at that price, you were never going to get it. You either had to buy a kit where you got raped on a bunch of extras, or it didn't work. It's a very common, selling tactic. Do you like stainless steel frets? I do. I worry that they wear my strings out a little fast, right? Because they're so much harder metal than the string, right? The string is a nickel, where the stainless is obviously stainless steel. It's a much harder metal. I'd like to. If I had I don't think I have a single guitar with stainless steel frets. But what would be interesting is to compare like the longevity of strings on a guitar with stainless steel frets versus a guitar with nickel frets. Certainly the frets will last longer on the stainless steel, but how are the strings going to do over that period of time? Show my fret wear? I don't really have much wear on this one. This one's pretty clean. And the guitar is only maybe 2 years old. What is this, a 2015? I'm not even sure. I have no idea. But I don't think this color was available before. I don't think it was available in 2014. I think it's 2015. What do you think of TK's Kiesel Factory Tour? I loved it. We were talking about it earlier. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really, really good. You know, I thought he was great. I watched it, I think, I watched the whole thing all the way through, and then I went through and went back and watched a couple of other sections over again, you know. Yeah, a lot of people switch. Says Ibanez is using stainless steel frets. So a lot of companies are switching to stainless steel frets, you know, because they last longer. They just do. Well, a lot of people report that they're a touch brighter, but I don't know. I haven't done a lot of comparisons between the two. I would think so, though. Never need to polish or redress. Really? Never? I thought that stainless steel eventually would wear down, just more slowly. Or is the metal so hard compared to the metal of the strings that they're not going to wear out? I'm not really sure. Not change the strings in 5 years. I'm gonna call those strings darkness. I don't know what brand they were when you put them on, but today they're darkness. Did you shred with single coils? Sure, it really depends on the amp. I think Cameron Cooper would tell you the same thing. If you've got an amp that has a nice gain, look at what Ingve does. You know, with single coils. You know, absolutely do it. You just need enough saturation. I mean, you can just rip right through it, sure. It'll be nice and bright, too. Yeah, luthiers hate them. Luthiers hate them because it rips their tools apart, and they don't want to spend money on tools. That's why. So stainless steel, who may have an obvious bias towards stainless steel with a name like that, says that stainless steel equals less friction and less string wear. Possibly. Though I don't think it's friction that's wearing it out, is it? It's just friction would create heat, but I don't know that the actual friction wears it off. That's just... No, maybe. See, I thought friction was a term for the energy created. Not the wearing down. Not to get too scientific on you. Titanium frets. Those would be tricky to work. Titanium's a very light metal. Extremely light. Hey, what's up, your blonde skin? Nice to see you, buddy. That bag right there has your SG in it. I still haven't tried the Greco. I haven't attempted the Greco yet. Probably tomorrow. Had a basement flood today, so I had to deal with that. What's up, Tony? Hi, Joe Stump from the area. You should bring him in as a guest. Yeah, I've actually spoken with him a few times on the phone, but you know it's hard. He's got a very busy schedule, and you know it's hard to get people together. Molecules break down because of friction. Yeah. Blaze up. It'll make sense after that. Is that a scientific finding? Anyone ever used 24 karat gold strings? I gotta think those would be soft. What are you drinking tonight? I'm drinking the Sumatran blend. I think that's the last of the Sumatran. That we have the last bag. What's up, Scotland? Ugh. Move my leg here. Yeah, Buddha basement floods. I hear you, buddy. You ever use acoustic guitar in your videos? Yeah, I've used it in about probably like a half dozen videos. I just moved the nicest acoustic up to the attic because I was getting a little worried about it down here. A little crazy. Time is at 8:30. Just checking the time. Yeah, Tone Coffee. What are your honest opinions on chipsets? You know, to be honest, they are, I think nice for the money. The downside is it's hard. It's what do you do with it if once you don't like it? So I got like a bunch of them because, I can't sell them. But they're little project guitars, whatever. They're getting harder and harder to import. My recommendation would be just to steer clear. If you already have one, just use that one. If you don't have one, just find something other than those. Just nothing but a burden coupled with a hassle. Someone asked me what I thought about Tim Pierce. Tim Pierce is amazing player. I saw him playing at the daytime Grammys. They do, a lot of awards during the day, like the non-prime time Grammys. And he was doing something with one of the Marley boys. And Lee Sklar, I think, was on bass. That's probably how I saw it. Lee probably posted it to Facebook. And I saw it and I said, oh my God, that's Tim Pierce. Sounding great. Jackson, Charvel, or EVH. I think they're all good, and they're all owned by the same company. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If you had money to get a custom guitar made for you, which brand would you choose? Oh, I don't know. There's so many good brands out there. I mean, who's going to make the most tricked out guitar? It's probably PRS, right? Like if you want a pimp mobile, right? Kiesel's got the pimping going with all the woods. Trying to think of who would, Acacia, right? They got all the crazy woods. One of those. What's funny is I'll see a couple of comments and they're clearly from like several minutes ago, but they're just a little bit behind on the stream. Are you Italian? A little bit. At least 25%, I think. No, a little less. My grandmother on my father's side was pure Italian. But my grandfather was Scottish. And then the other side, my mother's side, it's all English and German and Welsh. Tim posted a great video. He had to learn 70 songs for that Grammy show. Yikes. Yeah, Kiesel has more pimp options than anyone else. Yeah, you might be right about that. You might be right about that. You should check out Bad Cats, their former Chips and Guys Gone Legit. Okay. Amazing guitars for chips and prices. You knew that was going to happen, right? Make enough money, keep going. Manson, you mean like Marilyn Manson? I can't say I own a single album by the dude. Sorry. Never really got into him. You know, it was a little after my time. It's for the youngins. Artist Tide? I don't think I know that. Sorry, God. Boston, you're either Italian or Irish. Or Italian-Irish. Or Irish-Italian. One of those four. Or Greek, if you're from Rossi. New tone patches lately? No, not really. You know what? I am so in love with this patch. I've been using this patch. You know, and I'll use this one, my... Thanks, John. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. See you, bud. Gretsch would look good on you. Yeah, I've thought about Gretsch. Those, I mean, they're big. Most of them now are imports, you know. They're really nice, old, expensive. Gretches are very expensive, and I'm not getting one of those. But, again, owned by Fender, right? Gretsch. Is Gretsch owned Fender, or is Gibson owned Fender? Gibson owned Gretsch. I think it's Fender. Let me just check this here. You had a pitch shifter? I probably could. Somewhere in here. It has a it's got a tube screamer. But I like it clean. Listen to that, 59. Open up, huh? Not bad for a double coil guitar, you know. Fender distributes them. Fender doesn't own them, but they're the distributor. Okay, makes sense. Let me see. This problem when you have two screens, you're trying to get up the other places. That's called British American Hard Rock for you with people with TH3. People are always like, what patch are you using? That's called British American Hard Rock. And that's a little bit more straight down the... I mean, it's a stereo patch, but it's a little bit more straight down the center. Versus this one, which is... like a more straight up double rig. And I like this one, Forget it now. Can you make sweeping? Yeah, like a... Not really, though. I do like little mini sweeps, But I'm not one of those guys who rips up and down. I'm no Frank Gambale. We got 8:42. All right. We have some people in here. Terry Bear is a guy who does mods. He's a moderator, a friend of mine. That's who Terry Bear is. So if he feels like you're acting up, he might give you the axe. Because I can't, I can't like play and talk and read this and moderate, and people don't want to see a bunch of douchebags in the stream. So you hand out moderation to a few different people, and you just say, hey, if you see someone acting like a douche, just douche them, and that's where it is. Are people freaking out? Is there a freak out for some reason? I don't think so. See you, Scarlett. Thanks for hanging out, bud. I think we're going to wrap this one up. We've been going for a little while. Terry's a good guy. That's why he's a mod. Hey, maybe I will stay up for another minute or two. My buddy Garrett Peters just showed up. Oh, I know it's going to be one of those nights. Do you think this whole sites thing is overblown? I'm not sure. We got to see what happens with that. We got to see what happens with that. It's certainly got a lot of people on edge. A lot of people who deal internationally, like people who sell out of like Japan and stuff. A lot of people freaking out. See you, Joe. Guitar Pro asks if you switched to salads yet. No. How much salad can you eat? Well, I probably have 2 to 3 servings of vegetables a day. Not big on fruit. I am huge on vegetables. Not sweet vegetables, though. I'm not big on, like, carrots and squash and any of the sugary. I don't know. Sugar in vegetables just doesn't mix with me. But green vegetables, now you're talking. Yeah, sorry, Navajo John. You did miss the mini LP. It was earlier tonight. What's your feeling on Eric Clapton no longer playing? It's sad, but you know I think he's feeling the effects of age. You know, I think the Rolling Stones said it best: "What a drag it is getting old, because your body just starts to break down." And what's crazy is how Keith Richards keeps just chugging right along. Guy's like a Viking. Can't be killed. See you, Charles. Play SRV. Like a... You too, James. Sorry to hear it, buddy. Good luck with the flood. We'll see you, dude, and we'll catch up soon. We'll talk about that Strat. I know it's been crazy lately. Stainless Steel asked, what string gauge do you use? I think on this it's 11s. I go between 10s and 11s. I used to do 9s and 10s, but I'm starting to do more 10s and 11s. I like the bigger sound of the thicker string. I think it's, I don't know, a little bit more tone to it, or certainly the tone I like. Also, and you know what? This is probably really why, the more I think about it. I pick really hard, right? On a thinner string, I'll get a warble. And the thicker strings, I won't, because the tension is just enough. It won't react that way. Right? It's almost like, that thicker, it's almost like viscosity, right? It's like that more resistance. So it won't flutter with the heavier string. The thing is, you're going to have to go through some pain because the heavier strings definitely put a beat down on your fingertips, What was your first guitar? I probably still have my second guitar around here somewhere, an acoustic. But it was an acoustic, like a no-name Japanese import acoustic, which a lot of people used in the early 70s. Got my first guitar in 72. Technically, it was my sister's, and I just sort of appropriated it. What picks do you use? I use right there the Dawman. I don't know if you can see that. The Dawman UFOs. Big fan. I've been using these pretty much exclusively. I don't even. They're slightly thicker than they're actually not slightly. They're 50% thicker than my signature pick. So I'll use my signature pick, but I wind up gravitating back to the 3s again instead of the 2s. What can I tell you? I like a thick pick. Have a great night. Hey, Adam. Do I need to replace the tremolo bushing? What was he saying about that? Let me just back up here a sec. need to replace the tremolo bushing to get an arm to stay in one spot. So is it a when you say the tremolo bushing, I'm assuming it's an Ibanez, right? It's got the plastic bushings, right? Is that it? Yes. If that's it, that probably would make it a little stiffer. But it's not guaranteed. I actually bought a new arm, for a trem, and it came with the brand new bushings, and I thought it was going to be like perfect, and it wasn't. This design here, where you can clamp it down and actually change the tension, is probably a slightly better system, and it's rock solid. But if you have Ibanez, then yeah, the bushings. If it's an old Floyd Rose with the nylon washers, and the washers are just worn out, then yeah, just replace those washers. And you'll have to set those up probably with a little bit of that blue Loctite, so it locks, but not forever. What we got there, 8:52. Keeping an eye on the clock. I got to text my family. Live show's over so they can come back home. I think they went to the movies. See you, Alejandro. I think he was talking about the Ibanez Low Pro or Edge. Yeah. Paradise City. He said, yeah, half, right? What do you do for a living outside of YouTube? YouTube certainly isn't a living. IT work, a little bit in legal services, mostly IT these days. Backing up service. See you, Chargo. Live in the Midwest? No, I live in the Northeast. I live outside of Boston. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. It's 8:53. I'm officially out of steam. We started with a bang. But now comes the time we say goodbye. So you guys have been awesome. I had a great night. I'm thinking about maybe doing more live shows, but we'll see. One a month seems to show back up. Every time I tell my wife, I have a live show this Saturday, she's like, really? Seems like actually, it was 4 weeks ago. She's like, yeah, I guess it was. So, I don't know if I can do them more frequently. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll try one during the day. If I find a day where I'm not working and I'm home that day, I'll see if I can whip one up. We'll see. Anyway. All right, dudes. As always, you're freaking awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. And rock on.